My name is Sean Bays. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Elizabeth Fry Society of Greater Vancouver. We take our name from Elizabeth Fry, who was a Quaker who lived in the 1800s, a British prison reformer who almost single-handedly changed the British penal system at a time when women had very little power. 80 years ago in Vancouver, a group of women with that exact same spirit came together to begin to advance the rights of women, both within the justice system and within society as a greater whole. In bringing about change, the women within EFry founded the first halfway house for women outside of Toronto, so women could come home to their home communities. It was involved in the methadone treatment program in 1959 opening in our province. That was revolutionary for this country. EFry was the first organization that got women assessments and got them onto methadone right at the very beginning. And it has long worked to be able to break down barriers that were in the way of women being able to move forward with their lives and do that.
You know, it's so hard to handle a baby alone. So the people here are so helpful, like Alicia, the staff, or the program Growing Great Kids that coming for me every week, doing lots of things. He's my second child, but I knew some things, but still I recognize I didn't know lots of things. With that program of Growing Great Kids, I learned a lot of things. So I'm just trying to be a good mommy, and EFry is helping me so much about that.
My relationship with my mom was very hard because of choices I made, and because of getting in touch with Rosie and Leanne, talking, and basically ways to make me grow and appreciate myself more. I now have my mom back in my life, and it's been amazing, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without Rosie and EFry and everybody.
I had a girl come up to me at a gas station that I barely remembered, but she talked about the impact that I'd had on her life, and that she was now a drug and alcohol counselor, and I was just wow, that's incredible that you can make such an impact in someone's life, that even if you don't see it, you gotta trust and believe that what you're doing is good work.
I think what's unique about us is that it has been founded and continues to be supported by women who are seeking change for other women and have given up a lot of their lives to do that. We saw women who had very little power in the 1930s fight for the right for women to vote for this organization first, and then go on, because of that experience, to fight for women incarcerated. They were jailed for fighting for those rights for women. That's what made them prison reformists. That's what made them take their PIN money and begin to save it and to be able to, advance human rights for other women. That's what I think is revolutionary about us. I think that's what our going forward spirit is. Maida Duncan put her house up for EFry to buy its first group home so that it could move forward at a time when organizations couldn't take out mortgages, nonprofit societies couldn't borrow money. And those were debts that were taken on by their board of directors, and Maida Duncan took on that personal liability for us to move forward. Joan Firth, who our first residence is named after, is the woman who would travel across the country for 2 weeks, take out women on parole from Kingston Penitentiary, and travel handcuffed with them back in a train for 2 weeks. For everything that meant, eating together, going to the washroom, they'd sit with a coat between them so that they didn't stand out for other people. And she brought those women back because she wanted them to have the opportunity to be paroled in our community, to reestablish their lives. We didn't have anywhere for them to be. Those women lived with our volunteers. Our volunteers brought them into their homes and had them live with them to give them that opportunity. That's the kind of work that EFry carries through its history, I think, of the programs and the names that we have, And it's the kind of future I think we would like to envision for our next 80 years. We want to live out, I think, the vision of those women and Elizabeth Fry, to find solutions, to break down barriers, and give women that opportunity for themselves and their children.